Hey conquerors, pay attention. Let me hit you with something uncomfortable. The life you want is locked behind the pain you keep avoiding. The pain you keep avoiding is the exact pain required to upgrade your life. You hit snooze instead of getting up. You quit when it gets uncomfortable. And then you wonder why nothing changes. Every time you choose comfort over discomfort, you vote for the same life again. Here's the brutal truth no one tells you. The system loves this version of you. Distracted, entertained, busy, but going nowhere. They don't need to cage you. They trained you to avoid pain, so you cage yourself. Think about how many times you delayed a move you knew you had to make. The business idea you kept researching instead of starting because you didn't want to look stupid. The job you hate that you keep defending because quitting would force you into uncertainty. The gym membership you pay for but don't use because being sore reminds you how far behind you really are. None of those things were dangerous. They were just uncomfortable. And discomfort is the line where average men stop. You think you have time. Time to start later. Time to get ready. Time to feel confident first. Time to wait for perfect condition. That belief is the most expensive illusion you will ever carry. Every man who stayed average believed he had time. Every man who wasted his potential thought tomorrow would be easier than today. It never is. Tomorrow only punishes delay. Marcus Aurelius warned you centuries ago. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Most people ignored him. That's why they stay average. And here's the part nobody warned you about. Pain is the entrance fee to everything you want. The body you want lives behind physical pain. The discipline you want lives behind mental pain. The freedom you want lives behind social pain, financial pain, and loneliness. And because you hate pain, you keep numbing yourself instead. Now pause. Don't scroll. Don't lie to yourself. Ask yourself this: how many times did you quit the moment it started hurting? How many times did you choose ease over growth and call it self-care? If this already makes you uncomfortable, good. That means it's working. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand why pain is not your enemy, why avoiding it keeps you average, and how to rewire your mind to seek discomfort on purpose. But listen carefully. This video is not for everyone. It's for the few who are tired of lying to themselves. If that's not you, scroll now. But if something in you feels exposed, stay with me. Because what you're about to hear will expose why comfort has been quietly destroying you, and how to reverse it before you waste another year staying distracted. There is a reason so many people dream about starting a business, but never do. It's not because they don't have ideas. It's because business requires daily exposure to uncertainty, rejection, embarrassment, and delayed gratification. You will look stupid before you look competent. You will lose money before you make it. You will doubt yourself before you believe in yourself. And most people would rather stay underpaid and predictable than step into that fire. Here's a hard truth most people don't want to hear. If you are waiting to feel ready, you are already losing. Most people don't fail because they are not smart enough. They fail because the moment something becomes uncomfortable, slow, humiliating, or uncertain, they pull back and tell themselves a lie that sounds reasonable. They say, "This doesn't feel right." What they actually mean is, "This hurts my ego." Think about how your average day actually looks. You wake up already tired because you stayed up late consuming noise instead of building skill. You rush through responsibilities you secretly resent. You tell yourself you'll start the real work later, after things calm down, after motivation shows up, after life becomes less demanding. That moment never comes. It never has, and it never will. Pain is not just physical struggle. Pain is telling the truth when lying would keep the peace. Pain is quitting a job before you feel ready, because you know staying is killing your ambition slowly. Pain is discipline when no one is watching. Pain is choosing progress over validation. And here is the brutal part most people avoid. The things you call responsibility are often excuses for fear. The bills, the timing, the system. None of these are fake, but they become weapons against you when you use them to justify staying small. Many men hide behind responsibility because it sounds noble, when in reality it's fear dressed up as maturity. Discomfort is the entrance fee to every meaningful upgrade. You don't get stronger without resistance. You don't gain confidence without surviving moments where you had none. You don't become respected by avoiding conflict. The mind adapts only when it is pressured. Comfort preserves you exactly as you are. There's a quiet truth most people hate to admit. If your life feels stagnant, it's not because you haven't found the right strategy. It's because you've been negotiating with discomfort instead of submitting to it. You bargain with effort, you bargain with discipline, you bargain with risk, and every time you do, average wins again. Seneca warned that it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Most of that waste comes from avoidance, not dramatic failure, not catastrophic mistakes, but small, daily decisions to stay safe, stay quiet, stay comfortable. Pain wasn't what ruined you. Your refusal to endure it did. Pause for a moment and think. How many times have you delayed a decision because it felt too soon, when in truth you were afraid of the pain attached to acting? How many opportunities did you talk yourself out of because they demanded courage instead of certainty? Every delay felt harmless in the moment. Added together, they quietly shaped an average life. Here's the real cost of hating pain. You stop taking risks before you even realize you've stopped. You start choosing paths that don't challenge you. You settle for jobs that don't stretch you, relationships that don't inspire you, routines that don't demand anything from you. And then one day, you wake up older, frustrated and confused, wondering why your life never changed, despite all the thinking you did about changing it. The men who escape average lives are not braver by nature. They are trained differently. They learned to see pain as information instead of punishment. When something feels hard, they don't ask how to avoid it. They ask what it's trying to teach them. When something scares them, they don't retreat. They lean in carefully, deliberately, and repeatedly, until fear loses its authority. This is why some people rise while others remain stuck complaining about the system, the economy, or their past. One group interprets pain as a signal to grow. The other interprets it as a warning to stop. Same world, same obstacles, completely different outcomes. There is a line that captures this perfectly. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. And the reason that line angers people is because it removes every excuse they've been hiding behind. Stay with me. Because once you understand how avoiding pain trains you to stay average, the next truth will expose why the system benefits from keeping you exactly where you are. There is a specific type of man who stays average his entire life, and it isn't because he lacks talent, intelligence, or opportunity. It's because he confuses being harmless with being good. He prides himself on being agreeable, patient, understanding, and polite. But underneath all of that is a quiet terror of conflict, rejection, and pain. He avoids friction at all costs, and then wonders why nothing in his life moves forward. Look at how you approach hard decisions. When something threatens your comfort, your mind immediately starts bargaining. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, next month, after one more video, after one more plan, after one more sign. That delay feels harmless, but it's lethal. Delay is how fear disguises itself as patience. Marcus Aurelius warned that if you do not choose to become stronger, life will choose suffering for you instead. The man who avoids pain today pays interest on it tomorrow. The job you tolerate slowly erodes your confidence. The dream you postpone slowly rots. The discipline you avoid turns into regret that gnaws at you at night. Here is the brutal reality. Pain is the gatekeeper. Every meaningful upgrade in your life sits behind something you are currently avoiding. Niccolo Machiavelli understood that men avoid danger not because they are incapable, but because they fear losing status more than they desire power. Failing publicly feels worse than stagnating privately. So they stay where they are, convincing themselves they're waiting for the right time. But the right time never arrives for men who fear pain. It only arrives for men who act without it. Stop and think about how you react the moment something feels heavy, the moment a task requires sustained effort, the moment progress becomes boring, slow, or humiliating. That moment is your true character test. Most people fail it quietly, then tell themselves a story about why it was the right choice to quit. Seneca observed that it is not that we have little time, but that we waste much of it. And what do people waste time on? Comfort rituals, distractions, safe routines that keep them emotionally numb but socially acceptable. They scroll, they watch, they consume, they wait. Waiting is the favorite addiction of the average man. You wait for confidence, you wait for clarity, you wait for permission, you wait for conditions to improve. Meanwhile, someone less talented but more tolerant of pain takes your place. Someone who was willing to suffer longer than you, was willing to stay uncomfortable. This is why pain is not your enemy. It is the filter. It separates those who fantasize about change from those who force it. Machiavelli understood that power does not belong to the most moral, but to the most decisive. And decisiveness always feels violent to the unprepared mind. It feels reckless, it feels dangerous, it feels wrong, until it works. Look at the moments that could have changed your life. You felt the signal, the anxiety, the hesitation, the inner resistance. That was not intuition warning you. That was your comfort zone, screaming for survival. If this is hitting you, pause. Don't scroll. Most people do. They feel exposed, then escape back into distraction. But if you are still here, it means part of you already knows the truth. You are not stuck because life is unfair. You are stuck because you have been trained to avoid pain instead of using it. Here is the lie that keeps people exhausted, busy, but still average. They think effort alone is enough. They work long hours at jobs they hate, chase goals they didn't choose, consume motivation they never apply, and confuse movement with progress. They tell themselves they're trying, but deep down, they know they're hiding from the real pain. The real pain is not effort. The real pain is decision. It's the pain of committing to a direction and cutting off all others. It's the pain of saying, this is what I'm doing, and accepting the risk of failure, ridicule, and regret. Most people never do that. They keep their options open because open options feel safe, even though they quietly kill momentum. You've seen this pattern in your own life. You want to start a business, but you keep researching instead of launching. You want to leave a job, but you keep preparing instead of moving. You want to change your body, but you keep planning instead of suffering through consistency. That delay feels intelligent. It feels responsible. It feels mature. It is none of those things. It is fear wearing the mask of logic. Seneca warned that while we waste time hesitating, life passes. He wasn't talking about laziness. He was talking about overthinking disguised as wisdom. The man who waits for perfect conditions is already defeated because growth demands acting while uncertain. This is why pain is essential. Pain forces clarity. When something hurts, you focus. When something is uncomfortable, you adapt. When something threatens your ego, you either rise or retreat. Comfort never forces evolution. Comfort makes you drift. Look at the system around you. It rewards distraction and punishes depth. Endless entertainment, endless noise, endless opinions. You are trained to feel productive while avoiding real risk. Scroll instead of build. Watch instead of do. Consume instead of create. And the moment you try to step outside that system, you feel friction everywhere. Your mind resists. Your habits fight back. Your environment pulls you down. That resistance is not random. It's the cost of escaping average. Machiavelli wrote that the greatest danger comes not from enemies, but from indecision when action is required. He understood that hesitation kills more potential than failure ever could. Failure at least teaches. Hesitation teaches nothing. Look closely at modern distractions. Endless scrolling, constant entertainment, noise everywhere. None of it is accidental. It keeps you busy enough to feel occupied, but never fulfilled. It numbs the signal that tells you something is wrong. The system doesn't need to chain you. It just needs to keep you comfortable enough to stay seated. Marcus Aurelius warned that you should not expect to live without difficulty, but you should expect to face difficulty with discipline. The man who trains himself to endure discomfort becomes calm in chaos. The man who avoids it panics the moment life applies pressure. This is why people collapse under stress. They were never trained for it. They were trained for comfort. And here's the hardest truth so far. If pain does not scare you, mediocrity should. Because staying average costs you something every single day. It costs your time, your potential, your self-respect. It costs you the person you could have been. And if you're still here, still listening, it's because part of you already knows this. You feel it when you wake up tired but unsatisfied. You feel it when you see others break free while you stay stuck getting ready. Good. Hold that feeling. Now pause mentally. This matters. The man who embraces pain early controls his future. The man who avoids pain postpones his life. And the longer you wait, the heavier the pain becomes. Not because the task gets harder, but because you've trained yourself to flinch. Think about the man who keeps saying, "I'll start when I'm ready." Ready for what? Pain doesn't wait for readiness. Life doesn't pause for confidence. The people who win didn't feel prepared. They moved while afraid. They acted while uncertain. They paid the price early so they wouldn't pay it forever. You don't become powerful by avoiding pressure. You become powerful by surviving it, understanding it, and eventually commanding it. Pressure reveals who you are when comfort is stripped away. And here's the brutal part most men don't want to hear. Your excuses feel reasonable because everyone around you shares them. Your environment rewards mediocrity. That doesn't mean you're right. It means you're surrounded by people who are also stuck. Look at your own life. How many chances did you delay because acting felt uncomfortable? How many opportunities did you explain away because the timing wasn't perfect? How many years did you spend almost ready? That was not caution. That was fear wearing a polite mask. Pain is not what destroys men. Hesitation does. The world does not reward intention. It rewards movement. And movement always hurts at first. There is no path that upgrades your life without friction, no transformation without discomfort, no freedom without risk. The system knows this. That is why it trains you to wait, to overthink, to gather information endlessly, to consume motivation instead of acting on it, to mistake preparation for progress. A man who waits for certainty never moves. A man who accepts pain moves early. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Pain is not the obstacle. Pain is the instruction. But most men reverse this truth. They believe comfort is the signal to proceed. That feeling calm means they're ready. That confidence must come before action. It never does. Confidence is a byproduct of surviving discomfort. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act while fear is present. This is why nice men stay average. They avoid tension. They avoid saying no. They avoid risk. They avoid pain. And in avoiding pain, they avoid growth. They tell themselves they are being reasonable. They are being trained. Here is a brutal realization most people never face. Your comfort zone is not neutral. It is actively shrinking you. Every year you stay inside it, the threshold for pain lowers. Things that once felt manageable now feel overwhelming. What used to be simple feels impossible. Not because life got harder, but because you got softer. Seneca warned that luxury weakens the spirit. Not because luxury is evil, but because it removes resistance. And without resistance, nothing sharpens. Pause again. This is important. Pain is the price of expansion. Discomfort is the tax on freedom. If you are not paying either, you are paying with your future. At some point in every man's life, the truth becomes unavoidable. You either harden yourself through chosen suffering, or you are slowly crushed by unchosen suffering. There is no third option. There is no balanced middle path. Average is not neutral. Average is decay with good branding. Most men think pain is something to escape. That belief alone guarantees they will never rise, because everything that upgrades you lives on the other side of resistance. Strength, freedom, respect, leverage, all of it is locked behind doors labeled discomfort. The man who hates pain hates growth. He just doesn't know it yet. Look at how people sabotage themselves. They say they want freedom, but cling to safety. They say they want success, but refuse uncertainty. They say they want power, but avoid responsibility. Every excuse sounds logical. Every delay feels justified. And years later, the bill arrives. That bill shows up as bitterness, as quiet anger, as regret disguised as wisdom, as phrases like, "Life is unfair," and "it wasn't meant to be." Those are not truths. Those are coping mechanisms. Seneca warned that it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult. He understood what modern men refuse to face. Fear does not disappear when you wait. It grows roots. The longer you avoid pain, the more fragile you become. The more fragile you become, the more the world controls you. Employers, partners, systems, opinions. You become easy to manipulate because you cannot tolerate loss. And that is why average men are obedient, not because they are stupid, but because they are afraid of discomfort. Machiavelli understood power at its core. He knew that men who cannot endure pain will always submit to those who can. Because the one who can suffer longer controls the outcome. He controls negotiations. He controls timing. He controls himself. At some point in every man's life, the truth becomes unavoidable. You either harden yourself through chosen suffering, or you are slowly crushed by unchosen suffering. There is no third option. There is no balanced middle path. Average is not neutral. Average is decay with good branding. Most men think pain is something to escape. That belief alone guarantees they will never rise, because everything that upgrades you lives on the other side of resistance. Strength, freedom, respect, leverage. All of it is locked behind doors labeled discomfort. The man who hates pain hates growth. He just doesn't know it yet. Look at how people sabotage themselves. They say they want freedom but cling to safety. They say they want success but refuse uncertainty. They say they want power but avoid responsibility. Every excuse sounds logical. Every delay feels justified. And years later, the bill arrives. That bill shows up as bitterness, as quiet anger, as regret disguised as wisdom, as phrases like, "Life is unfair," and "It wasn't meant to be." Those are not truths. Those are coping mechanisms. Seneca warned that it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult. He understood what modern men refuse to face. Fear does not disappear when you wait. It grows roots. The longer you avoid pain, the more fragile you become. The more fragile you become, the more the world controls you. Employers, partners, systems, opinions. You become easy to manipulate because you cannot tolerate loss. And that is why average men are obedient. Not because they are stupid, but because they are afraid of discomfort. Machiavelli understood power at its core. He knew that men who cannot endure pain will always submit to those who can, because the one who can suffer longer controls the outcome. He controls negotiations. He controls timing. He controls himself. Ask yourself something honestly. When was the last time you chose the harder option when no one was watching? When was the last time you did the uncomfortable thing without posting it, without validation, without applause? If you can't remember, that's not a coincidence. That's the problem. The life you want is not hidden. It's avoided. The version of you that could dominate your environment is not missing. He's suppressed. And here is the final truth most people will never accept. Pain is not the enemy. Comfort is. Comfort makes you slow. Comfort makes you compliant. Comfort makes you forget what you're capable of. Pain, when chosen, turns you into someone others feel before they understand. So decide. Not tomorrow, not next month, not after one more video or one more plan. Decide whether you are willing to live in discomfort long enough to become successful, or whether you will keep numbing yourself and call it peace. Because the world does not reward intentions. It rewards endurance. And here is the final truth most people will never accept. Most people will close this video and go back to the same habits, same distractions, same excuses. Not because they didn't understand, but because change demands pain, and pain demands courage. If this video hit you, don't ignore it. Drop this in the comments as a commitment to yourself. I choose discomfort, not for me, for yourself. Share this video with someone who's still running from pressure. Subscribe if you're done being comfortable. This channel is not for everyone. It's for men who are done being average. And now you know the rule. If you hate pain, you'll stay average forever. I'll see you in the next video.